Hello, 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 and welcome to Marriage Cast podcast. I hope you're all doing well. I heard a review on a documentary that came out on Netflix about LeBron James and I guess other basketball players. And the commentator of what I was watching or listening talked about LeBron James's marriage. And whoever talks about marriage gets my ear, my attention. And this commentator was saying that LeBron James loves his wife, Savannah James. They have been together forever. And he loves her company. And not just him, but other people around them know that he loves her. He loves being with her. And so I remember pausing. I was like, okay, Savannah James, what do I know from her, about her? I was like, nothing. But I'm like, okay, from what I have seen them at, award shows, events, or online, or pictures or video, I was like, okay, what's the vibe that she's giving? And I was like, she gives the vibe of being gentle, maybe more reserved, maybe quiet, and more like in the background. It doesn't seem that there's a competition there between LeBron James and his wife wanting to be in the spotlight, right? And so that's kind of like the feelings I was getting as I was thinking about Savannah James, and then I'm like, oh, gentle and quiet. And the Holy Spirit reminded me of a Bible verse that I memorized, I think it was in 2022. But it's something that I have aspired to become since 2019. And is in the book of First Peter chapter 3, verse 3 and 4. It reads, don't be concerned about the outward beauty of fancy hairstyles, expensive jewelry, or beautiful clothes. Verse 4. You should clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God. Another translation reads, do not let your adorned man be merely outward, arranging the hair, wearing gold, or putting on fine apparel. Verse 4. Rather, let it be the hidden person of the heart, with the incorruptible beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is very precious in the sight of God. And so, personally, it's a beauty that I have been wanting for myself in my marriage. And this is Peter addressing wives, right? So, I don't know why I was thinking of Savannah James and the feeling or the vibe that was coming as I'm thinking about this wife was a gentle and quiet spirit. Anyway, it's not to say that if a wife is quiet, she has a quiet spirit. I think those are two different things. For example, my mom is quiet, naturally quiet, but that doesn't mean that she has a quiet spirit, because there are wives that are quiet in the natural sense. They don't talk a lot, but if they say two words, those two words are combative. They are in fight mode, but they're quiet, right? But when they open their mouth, is to go to war. They're fighting with their husband. So the understanding I'm getting, it has more to do with a quiet spirit, in the sense of I guess maybe being less opinionated, or say something to your husband and pray more, less talking and more prayer. For me, that's a quiet spirit. And so, yeah, I have been on this journey of pursuing this unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit. And in my marriage, I was on one extreme. I was in combat mode all the time. I was fighting. I wanted my husband to change, and I used the tools of a lot of words to make that happen. Like, not so good words. And I thought if I nag him, if I insult him, if I mock him enough with all these negative words, he will change. Right? So that's the opposite of having a quiet spirit. And it was just bad. That my marriage was it was bad. And God took me in this, journey of renewing my mind. And I saw First Peter chapter 3, verse 3 and 4. And I was interested. I am interested in this beauty, the beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit. I was also reminded of my uncles. I have 4 uncles who have been married to the same women, same wives forever. They have been married for all of them 30 plus years. And what I remember from those 4 women, 4 wives, is that to some degree they carry these characteristics of being gentle and being like, having a quiet spirit, right? These are not necessarily Christian wives, but from what I remember, they have, yeah, they're gentle, and they have, like, a certain degree of quiet spirit. And I also remember of another group of women that I knew growing up, who the vibe was very much combat. They made sure that they put the husbands into their places. They made sure that the husband will feel it, right? That was the vibe of those other women that I remember, and none of them is still married. They are all divorced or have been separated for decades. And so, just me trying to, I don't know, put this into a podcast and encourage, other wives out there to really embrace this picture that the Bible, gives us. At least that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm after. And the Lord also opened my eyes to something. God made men combative, fight mode at work with other men. It's fight, it's combat, it's almost like war all the time. And men are like that, I remember, my husband the other day, there was a bag, one of a bag that he put in front of, where I usually sit. And then I moved it. And he was like, no, it's better here. And almost like in a combat way, right? And it was early in the morning, and I was about to pray, and I was just like, I'm gentle. I would just remove the bag and put it somewhere else, and then move it back later. And I even said that to him because I've already made in my mind that I'm gentle. And next thing you know, he's apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry. And so for me, this is the woman that I want to become even more so. I'm gentle, and I have a quiet spirit. That's why I pray. I will tell something to my husband. I will tell him when he comes and tell me this and that. I will tell him what I think and stop right there. And recently, I have been praying this too, guys. Psalm 41, verse 3. I have been praying for myself where I say, Lord, help me control my tongue. Help me be careful about what I say. Another translation reads, set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the doors of my lips. And so I've been praying this for myself when I feel the need to say too much instead of praying. I've been like, Lord, help me control my tongue and be more careful about what I say, right? In my marriage. And I feel like every time I do that, I have the self control to stop when in my spirit, I feel like, okay, you said enough, stop now. And so I feel like, again, if you guys have, a greater understanding of this, I am very open to, what you think. A gentle, we get it, a quiet spirit for me is like, I will say something to my husband, a little bit of what I think, or what I see, and I will do all the talking in prayer. I will go pray about that. Less talking here and way more, less talking here, in my opinion, giving him my opinion, and way more talking in prayer, praying about all these things that I see, right? And so that's where, I am right now. That's where I want to keep going, in my marriage. And I can see the difference between when I was combative, fight mode all the time. You're not going to treat me like that. I'm going to show you. When I was like that, it was just bad in my marriage. And when I started embracing being more gentle, renewing my mind by, hey, I'm gentle. I have a quiet spirit. I do more prayer than talking here. You know, when I started doing that, I saw how, yeah, even more so, my husband wants to spend time with me. He wants to be with me. And I wonder if, LeBron James, he's a basketball player, fight, 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 go, just point and fight over here in playing. When he comes home, it's gentle, it's peace. I wonder if maybe that's why he loves his wife, because she provides that peace. She brings that vibe of, it's peace. It's not combat here. A home, marriage, this is peace. This is your peaceful place. When there is that in a marriage, I can be wrong, but I feel like when that's the atmosphere of a marriage, the man, the husband will want to be with you, the wife, because it's peaceful. If it's combat and it's fight all the time, I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why a husband will want to be with his wife if he knows he's gonna be attacked all the time. I don't know. Anyway, that's just some food for thought. And for me, I want my husband to be with me. I want him to keep enjoying being with me. So the work that I'm doing is set a guard, oh Lord, over my mouth. And I do this all the time too. I always say to myself as we're talking, my husband and I know this is time to stop. I say it in my mind, shut up, shut up, shut up. Do not say any other word. This is internal monologue to help me also, keep peace in my marriage. And that helps me too, right? Because I am inspired by Proverbs 21 verse 23 says, let me see if I can remember how I memorize it. um, Watch your tongue, keep your mouth shut, and you will stay out of trouble. That's something when I in an argument or when I feel like going, I would just say in my mind, watch your tongue, keep your mouth shut, and you will stay out of trouble. How do I keep my marriage out of trouble? Watch your tongue, keep your mouth shut, and you will stay out of trouble. That's Proverbs 21 verse 23. I hope this all makes sense. This is the part where we work at our marriages. It's not easy, but God is with us and He has given us the tools. Let's apply them. I was your host, Alomo. This podcast exists to encourage and to challenge Christian couples to act biblically. Until next time, God bless you. Bye.